Hello. Today we celebrate the feast of St Mary Magdalene here on the 22nd of July. Mary Magdalene is not a saint we know a great deal about. There are legends concerning who she is, and there are legends concerning about where she went after the biblical record stops. But there is one incontrovertible place where we can be sure that we know who she is, and that is at the resurrection. She is the first person to see Jesus alive after he is raised from the dead. He appears to her first. And this is a wonderful example of why the Gospels are likely to be true. You see, in Jewish times, in the times of the first century, women were not considered reliable witnesses. If you wanted to indict someone of a crime, you had to have the testimony of two male witnesses. Women were disbarred. And then what we now see in the Gospels is that we have the statement that a woman was the first to see Jesus alive. Now, if you'd wanted that to be politically true, sort of as a rallying cry, you'd expect that to be removed completely and just have the account of Peter and John running to the tomb. But no, Peter and John run to the tomb because Mary has seen the Lord. So, under this criterion of embarrassment, it makes the source more reliable. It would be an embarrassment that a woman was the first witness. And the only reason that the evangelist would have recording that is because it's true. Truth trumps politics. And truth trumps social standing. Of course, today, that's something where we have indeed improved, because women, of course, are perfectly reliable witnesses to things. And for that reason, Mary Magdalene is called the Apostle to the Apostles. She is sent to proclaim the message of Christ's resurrection to the Apostles. Notice that's not the same ministry as the Apostles themselves have, because although they are sent to proclaim the good news as well, they have a whole cache of other duties to perform, including the sacraments. But it does prove that women do have a valuable ministry within the Church. It's just how that ministry is to be arranged, how it fits in with the Church's life. It might not be a liturgical role, but it's certainly a vital lay role in the wider Church, in the work of the Church. We also find something else with Mary Magdalene, because there are lots of Marys in the New Testament, in the Gospels. She's identified with Mary, the sister of Martha and Lazarus. And some church fathers, like St Gregory the Great, identify St Mary Magdalene as being the sinner who wept over the Lord's feet. Now, whether that's true or not is debatable. It's likely to be true, but we can't say for certain. And is it relevant? No. One of the things you sacrifice as an apostle, whether an apostle or an apostle to apostles, you sacrifice reputation. You reject social standing. That doesn't matter. And you can certainly see that in the way that this sinful lady who comes and washes the Lord's feet, she doesn't care about the reputation, she just cares about the one object of her love, which is our Lord Jesus. The same is true for Mary Magdalene, which is probably why there is this link between the two, because of her utter devotion to him. We have to lay our reputations on the line, because there are gossip mongers out there who will seek to dismiss you based upon your reputation. Now, if you have a reputation for lying, if that's grounded in fact, then you aren't going to be a reliable witness. But if you have a reputation for telling the truth, well, that's fine. But if you do have a reputation for telling unpalatable truths, then people will use that reputation against you. The whole thing is called an ad hominem argument, because it's an argument that concentrates on the person making the argument rather than the argument itself. Now, you could say Adolf Hitler says that 2 + 2 = 4. And he's right. But a lot of people say, oh, because Adolf Hitler committed some of the most awful atrocities ever known in humanity. 2 + 2 can't possibly equal 4. He must be wrong. He must be wrong in everything. That's not true. If Mother Teresa says 2 + 2 = 5, well, she's got a wonderful reputation, but she's still wrong. It's not the person giving the message who makes the message true or false. There are obviously some occasions where it might be possible, but it's not the person giving the message, it's the message itself. If you have the truth of Christ proclaimed to you by a prostitute, that truth still remains, whatever you may think of the person giving it. And of course, our Lord will reach out to all people, especially sinners, tax collectors, prostitutes, embezzlers, etc., etc. He doesn't care about their reputation, he cares about them, and he cares about us. As a society, we're becoming very, very difficult to forgive people. And you can see this certainly someone's made a statement, a cruel statement, say, on Twitter about 5 years ago, and it's become brought to light, and that person is raked through the coals, despite the fact that in 5 years they may well have changed their opinions. Society doesn't like to forgive, but Christianity seeks to forgive, because God seeks to forgive. Sin is a disease. It is not a reflection on one's humanity. Just as chicken pox doesn't change the humanity of the person who has it. Humility is a key. As apostles, we have to lay down our reputation, because we have to go further. We have to be ready to lay down our lives. St Mary Magdalene is praying for us in heaven, and she sees the face of the one whom she has always loved. Her past is cleansed by his blood, and so will ours be. So God bless you as you look at your reputation and weigh it against the truth that you have, that you witness. God bless you as you struggle to preach gospel to the people who need to hear it in your lives. God bless you as an apostle, and please pray for me.